Hey everyone, Anthony here, and today's video is one that I don't really want to make it, but I know I have to. This about it's been about a week now. My Flowerhorn Duke, the one that resides in this 90 gallon, he passed away. Like I said, this isn't a video that I thought that I would have to make. I don't want to make it. I didn't think I was gonna have to do this video for a very long time, but yet here we are. And so today I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through the story of how and why it happened. I've been putting it off. He did die about a week ago, and I didn't do a video on it right away because I wasn't really ready. I took his loss pretty hard. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get right into how and why it happened. To kind of understand the story fully, we have to go back to when I first kind of introduced him to the channel. That was last summer. I posted a 4-part video series titled DIY Aquarium, and it was a whole series on when I built this 90 gallon aquarium behind me. I built the stand, I built the canopy, I built the tank, and then in the 4th part I added the fish, which was Duke, the Flowerhorn. So that was about 8 or 9 months ago during the summer, and that was kind of when it happened, really. That's like what started it all. The aquarium, this 90 gallon, it's a 3 by 2 by 2. I built it, and because it was my very first aquarium, I didn't do the best job on it. I thought I did at the time, and for the months following, I thought that it was good. However, I started noticing that the seals on it, the silicone seals, were they were coming up. They were kind of flapping around in the water, and you know, it was still holding water. I didn't think too much of it. But I knew that eventually I would have to reseal those seals, right? But the tank was fine. It wasn't leaking anywhere. I just kind of ignored it for a long time. So recently, as many of you know, if you've been following my channel, I've been doing kind of like a full makeover of my whole fish room area up here, and I recently restored a 55 gallon aquarium. I put new seals on it, and it's ready to set up. Well, I moved that 55 in. It's actually sitting right next to the 90 gallon, and it was empty. So I thought to myself, it would be a really perfect opportunity before I set that tank up and add fish, if I were to just get my Flowerhorn Duke, scoot him over to the 55 for a couple of days, and reseal the 90 gallon aquarium, right? It really was a perfect opportunity, so I decided to do that. And the first stage actually went very smoothly. I was able to get him over. It was really easy. I just siphoned all the water from the 90, filled up the 55. I moved all his filtration, just scooted it over to the 55, and I thought he'll be fine in there for a couple of days while I reseal the aquarium. So that's what I did. I didn't make a video on it because I think that would have been kind of boring, but so I completely emptied it out. I scraped off all the old seals, and sure enough, I did need to reseal that aquarium. All of the seals, I was able to just peel them right off with my fingers. So it would have needed it very soon anyway. So anyway, I resealed the tank. I filled it back up. I water tested it for another couple of days, and after that, it was ready to go. You know, and Duke, in the 55 gallon, he wasn't happy, and I knew he wasn't going to be happy about that. And that's when he started, he was sort of like, oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. He started showing signs of not, he didn't want to eat. He was just, his swimming was a little bit off. So for me, I thought that was just the stress of the move over, right, from out of his new home. He hasn't been out of the 90 since I put him in there 8 months ago. So when everything was all said and done, I set the 90 back up and I moved him back over. Well, he still wasn't eating, and so I thought that he was just a little bit stressed out. He'll be fine, he'll get better. That's how he acted the first day I got him in the mail. He just sank to the bottom, didn't move. He was super stressed out from the move, but he eventually recovered from that, and he was perfectly fine after that. So that's kind of what I thought was going to happen here. I thought, well, maybe if I just leave him alone, just kind of let him do his thing, he'll be fine after a little bit. Well, his condition ended up worsening. It actually got so bad the next day that he couldn't swim upright. He was kind of all over the place. So as soon as I saw that, I immediately got him, moved him to quarantine tank, and started dosing him with meds. Tons of water changes, keeping it, trying to keep everything perfect for him. And I did everything I could. I did so much research. I didn't really sleep for those few days. I was just up watching videos and doing research, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So I started treating him for what I thought was going on with him after looking up certain like telltale signs of what the illness could have been. And he actually, there was one day where he looked like he was starting to get better. So I thought, well, this is good, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And shortly after that, his condition got worse very, very quickly. Within like the next day, he completely sank to the bottom of the quarantine tank. He couldn't really move. He was still breathing, but he couldn't move. He got like a white film all over his entire body overnight. I woke up the next morning and he looked like a completely different fish. And it was like later on that morning that he ended up just dying, pretty much overnight. So that I think the worst part about it was, like, the worst part about this whole situation was that he was very happy, he was very healthy in his 90-gallon aquarium. I never had any issues with him. He always ate really good. He had great color. He was just a healthy fish. And the stress from moving him got him sick to the point where I couldn't bring him back. And that there shows my inexperience as a fish keeper. I feel like I should have known a better way to dose him, like with medication, or what medications to use, how to better diagnose what was going on with him, I guess. All the research that I did kind of pointed me to the direction that I did go, but it wasn't enough. So the reason why I took the story back all the way to last summer was because that was the real issue. I think that if I had just, whenever I built the aquarium to begin with, if I had done a better job on it, the seals would have been better. They would have lasted for a lot longer, and I wouldn't have to have resealed the aquarium, therefore moving him and then causing all this to happen. So I think that's kind of like when things went wrong, like when I built the aquarium to begin with. So yeah. Anyway, even though all this happened, you know, I'm not done with Flowerhorns. If I think that's all that I want to keep in that aquarium. That's what I built that aquarium for. I don't know if I'm gonna get attached to another one as I did with Duke. He's been my favorite pet that I've ever owned. Like I said, I took his loss pretty hard. That's why it's taken so long to put out a video on it, because I knew that I didn't want to get on camera, talk about it, and post it all over the internet, right? So I've watched some videos even before any of this happened. I watched a lot of videos of you know, YouTubers losing their fish, you know, like Corey when he lost Hank, and Zenzo when he lost Oscar. And now I can really relate to how they're feeling, you know. Some people, you know, I'll tell them that I'm bummed out because I lost my fish or whatever, and they're just like, who cares if it's a fish, like who cares, go buy another one. But I feel like the only people in this hobby will understand how important and how attached we get to our animals. Well, so I think that's it. That's what happened. I'm still really bummed out about it. His tank has been empty ever since. I could have gone out and just bought other fish and put it in there, but it just didn't feel right. I'm not sure when I'm gonna put something else in that aquarium. It doesn't feel right. It feels a little bit too soon. But like I said, I'm not done with Flowerhorns. All of the care that I gave him, he was perfectly happy and healthy with me caring for him. What killed him was me being unable to bring him back after he got sick. So before I go and get another one, I'm definitely going to do, I mean, I've done so much research, but I need to do so much more. You know, I need to be able to prevent this happening in the future. If ever something like this happens again, I don't want to have to make another one of these videos. Essentially, this video really sucks to make. But like I said before, I had to make it. You know, Duke was a big part of this channel, and he's not going to get forgotten. He's not going to get forgotten very soon. So anyway, I'll end it on that note. I thank you guys for watching. I do have a lot of other upcoming stuff coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.